Hello, subscribers. This is yours truly, JBlue68, coming at you with a comic book haul. This one's going to feature all Marvel comic books. All Marvel comic books, as I promised. These books are actually late, I know, so what? Um, I was very busy last week and I didn't get a chance to do the haul of, or do a comic book haul like I wanted to, of the comic books that came out last Wednesday. That being October the 2nd. So this is actually a combination of 2 weeks of books that I hadn't had a chance to show. And I'm sure you probably already seen on other channels, but this is JBlue68's channel. And before we get into this haul, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Continue to like, share, and subscribe on this channel, please. Hit that button, the button where you can get videos like this as I upload them, and they can drop into your feed immediately. Okay, well, first up we have a very cool and creepy cover of Ghost Rider #1, written by Ed Brisson. This book has been talked about for quite some time now, as the Ghost Rider re-emerges into the Marvel comic book lore. Haven't had a chance to read it yet. Can't wait until I do. And this series, to my understanding, was supposed to be on Hulu, and they passed on doing it. Or they're not going to be doing it, or I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But anyway, Ghost Rider #1. Next up, we have creepy cover here, featuring Mr. Miles Morales under the Absolute Carnage line. And of course, it's written by Saladin Ahmed. Miles Morales #2, who of course has been kidnapped by the Carnage symbiote. Can't wait to see what this is all about. Book #2, Miles Morales Absolute Carnage. Next up, we get into the very popular, the very infamous writings of Jonathan Hickman's Powers of X. And this is Powers of X #5, one more book of this series, and this is actually going to be over with. I've enjoyed it immensely. It's a very powerful read, and very popular read, and I just can't wait to see how this is all going to come to an end. Beautiful cover there, featuring Mr. Sinister on that cover. Next up, we have House of X #6. This is book 6 of 6, and this completes this series, House of X. I actually began reading some of it before I even started reading Powers of. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. Before I began reading House of X #6. Uh, so far, what I read in this book, absolutely fascinating. Um, Wonderful way to end the story. And I can't wait to see what's going to spawn out of these stories. There are about 5 or 6 different books. All right. And then we have some of the Marvel True Believers X-Men stories. Uncanny X-Men, featuring Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. And that's Colossus there on the cover, lifting someone up in the air, about to hurl them into infinity. Very nice there. Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men, Marvel True Believers line, featuring Bishop, one of my favorite X-Men characters, who has yet to receive the screen time that he deserves in the X-Men films. Well, I hope that will change, with the X-Men now being under the MCU. Okay. And then after that, we get into the Marvel True Believers Hulk stories. This is the Incredible Hulk, Devil Hulk. All right. Interesting cover there. It looks like Hulk smashing something. Next up, we get into the Red Hulk. A lot of talk about this character, from the Thunderbolts, of course. As a lot of fans are hoping to see the Red Hulk eventually in the MCU, that including me. It was rumored he was actually supposed to make an appearance in the last Marvel movie. And we're not talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Avengers Endgame, but that didn't happen. I think it was either Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War. This is written by Jeff Loeb. Excuse me, got a little cough going on there. And then we have Marvel True Believers, The Other Hulks. Here comes the Hulk. I guess these are different versions of the Hulk and experiments that have created other versions of the Hulk creature. Very interesting there. Didn't know that there were other Hulks. All right. Then we get into the Immortal Hulk director's cut. My leeway into finally being able to collect this series, since as I mentioned in previous videos, that I was not able to. This video actually is being shot after I've left, after Comic-Con, I should say. I actually got to see Al Ewing in person. Very tall guy. He actually looks like Bigfoot or something. No, I'm being funny. No, tall guy, nice guy, Australian guy. I think he has an Australian accent. But yeah, brilliant writer he is. Very nice guy, and he's doing a fabulous, superb work on this particular story. This is Immortal Hulk, director's cut, book number 4. But he is very tall. Next up, we have Strike Force, book number 1, which features Blade on the cover. Also features Spider-Woman, Angela, and of course, Winter Soldier. I've seen a review of this book previously, and hearing that the story is kind of it's okay, not a big deal, but it's always good to see Blade. And then next up we have Marvel Comics number 1001. Of course, Marvel Comics 1000 was released a month ago, but that one was a little bit more expensive than this one. That one was $7.99. This one's only $4.99. And of course, it headlines the celebration of Marvel's 80th anniversary. All right. After that, we have Fantastic Four number 15, written by Dan Slott. As this story continues to progress, this is part of the Point of Origin story, part 2. All right. Although I haven't read part 1 yet. And so that's the end of part 1 of this haul. I actually have 2 lots, and here's lot number 2 because I have so many books from Marvel. Like I said, this is like a combination of 2 weeks of books, and right here we have Champions number 10. That's Champions number 10. Very nice cover there of the Champions in the middle of their story. Then after that we have Black Panther, or the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, Black Panther number 16. Very nice cover there. I love that meditation pose. And then we have another book that I found in Annapolis, Maryland. I got this in Annapolis, Maryland at Third Eye Comics. And here is the logo of Third Eye Comics on the back there. Let's see. Third Eye Comics. They have a stamp on their Mylar. It's pretty cool. And I have my next Shang-Chi comic book. And of course, I've been looking for all the Shang-Chi comic books I can get my nice hands on. All right, and this is from the Bronze Age, 1977. Next up, we have Spider-Verse number 1 of 6. Number 1 of 6. And this features all the different versions of Spider-Man from the multiverse, including Spider-Ham right back there. I love saying that. And Miles Morales, of course, headlining the cover, Spider-Man 2099. Next up, we got a book that I almost missed out on, the facsimile version of Daredevil, Man Without Fear, which features Bullseye versus Elektra. One wins, one dies. And I believe, as I've said before, where I actually featured this particular book, comic book cover, that this is where I believe Elektra meets her fate. And this book I also found um, in Annapolis, Maryland, at Third Eye Comic Books. I seen this on Rockin' Robbie's YouTube channel, and I had to get my hands on this. This is the Spider-Man book written by both Henry and J.J. Abrams. I really love that cover. Had to get my hands on it. And there's that Third Eye Comics logo again, or stamp. Very, very cool. This is basically just a variant. And here's a book that was given to me for free at the New York Comic Con. I don't know what the story is about. I think it features some of the members of Alpha Flight. But again, I have no idea what the story is about, but it has uh, a very, very kitty-like drawing of the Hulk and Thanos in Mortal Kombat. I like that very much. This was free. I actually passed out at the Marvel booth for free to any and all attendees. And last but not least, this is an exclusive comic book that I got from New York Comic Con. Unfortunately, it sustained a little bit of damage, and you can see at the very bottom there the little damage that it sustained. But it has a New York Comic Con logo, Spider Ham. Love that. Say that name, and I love the character too. It's very funny. So that's it. That's all, y'all. I just wanted to do my next video of a late comic book haul. But although it's late, it features some of the some up to date comic books again that I picked up from, like I said, Annapolis, and when I was in Annapolis, Maryland, at Third Eye Comics, and featuring comics as well from the New York Comic Con. So that's it. That's all, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease.